Welcome to the Pump Rules Podcast, the show where cast and connoisseurs come to talk all things Vanderpump Rules.
What if you were like naked for whatever reason? Like, what if you were like changing clothes in the middle of your living room? I do it. And he like didn't knock and just like walked in. That has happened to me when I lived with Sandoval. Like, Jax has like walked into the apartment and we were like having sex.
Oh, look how.
Why do you think I lock my doors now, huh?
Yeah, I get it now. I get it.
Post Scheana's party, when I'm at my place and Craig, you were there, and I don't remember if Stassi was. I
think she'd retired for the evening.
So there was just a couple of us hanging out there, and I had received minimal information besides shit hit the fucking fan. That was pretty much like the only knowledge I had, and so it wasn't until y'all came back and there was just like so much tension. Like, I had just had like a great night out.
Like, Katie
with
was
one
not
of my
there when
yeah,
that
I
happened.
kind of assumed you were there. I was like, what are you talking about? And then I remembered.
No, Stassi and I were having a fantastic
Honestly, you
dinner.
had kind of got the best deal there, because that party looked really lame. It looked like 5 people were there in a mask, and you were like,
even if I had been invited, I would have respectfully declined. To be honest, like, I don't want to.
You seemed like you were at
there.
a nice restaurant. You had like these nice glasses of wine. I was just like,
Oh,
I think I'd rather be there.
We
like,
had
it
a
seemed very
delicious
cozy
dinner. Yeah, it was cozy. It was near home. It wasn't in Hollywood. It was great. Yeah, so I was coming off a great night. I was like, tipsy from my night. It was great. And then you came back. Jax comes in and you come to, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? And so you start saying like, well, apparently this Faith and Jax rumor is now out there that, Faith and Jax slept together. And like, there was not even enough information then as that there was on the show, and even the more so that you didn't even know about, which was insane.
There were so many different groups of people in different areas of this bar.
Yeah,
where we're all kind of like, wait, what? Like, okay, who with what? When did this happen? What the hell is going on right now?
Yeah.
And it's like dark and it's loud. And
here's my question. So you let's say you cheat, you have an affair with Jax, and you're like, okay, I'm going to reveal this, but I'm going to wait.
Why are you looking at me when you say that, Alana?
No. I'm actually curious how this works, because I just don't get it. It's like, she did it. And then she was like, I'm going to like plan. There's going to be a like, how does that work?
From what I understand, and I honestly, clearly I'm not friends with Faith. No one is. Or with her group. From what I
think this response is brought to you by like Evian. Because when the thirst is real.
Goddamn. No, from what we understand is that she had already planted that seed, because she is was friends at the time with James, with Lala, with Jesse,
with Brittany.
By the way, let's establish she was friends with Brittany. Like, they hung out.
Yes.
Brittany considered her a pretty good friend.
Yeah,
Maybe
you saw it in the party. She was talking to Brittany and
If you
Jax.
guys have an after party, I totally want to come.
I totally want to come if you guys have an after
No
party.
shit.
Like,
Oh,
I know.
That
Hello.
made my stomach sick.
They're my neighbors. They hung out. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really sad. No, so
Do you know what I mean?
from what I
Like,
understand,
how does this
is
happen?
she was invited because Faith. You're talking about just the rumor part.
Well,
So
how is it brought to light? Why is it brought to light then?
Faith was invited to the party clearly because she was friends with
She actually
Scheana,
was friends with them.
James, with Brittany, with Jax. Like, she was friends with them. I was not friends with her. Katie did not hang out with her really. Stassi didn't, whatever. But
she's
some
thinking to
people
herself,
did.
this is the time where I'm
So
going to say.
from what I understood that night, as I'm being told this, and even watching it back, is that she had already told, because you hear Jesse say
They've heard
that,
the rumor.
right? You hear Jesse say that he heard it. Although James was like surprised. I feel like it was something a couple people knew or had heard about. But she was invited to the party.
And I think that they were doing that on their own accord. Like, I don't think there was no contact with like production.
Dude.
So they were sort of producing themselves.
Yeah.
No, there's a whole in this sort of like
I did not
underbelly.
view this as a production thing. I did not.
Alana, that is the Vanderpump Rules fashion.
Yes.
That there's always people that know about some shit going on, but they don't say it until
That's so great.
it's like the right time.
Because as you're watching it and you're just kind of like, She could have because you're like
But
this
that's
could
how
have
it
come up
felt.
any other time.
That's
like
how it felt, though.
why
but
is it
when,
coming?
But when would all of us be
Yeah,
in
you're
one
right.
place
I don't
at the
know.
same time? Unless we were filming, but unless it was like at a big
A party. Yeah.
to
You're
bring people
thinking.
together, because it's not like I hang out with all of those people all the time, or even
All at the
Scheana
same
or
time.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah, that makes
It
sense.
has it's an event. Any event that
Yeah,
even
yeah, it's
when
like
we're not
any-
filming, we're all there together.
Why would they spoil that news by saying it off camera where the thirsty ones
Well-
would not be swept into the prime narrative?
I'm sure there were things said off camera, just not to the people that matter.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like they kept it
Yeah.
from.
Yeah, there
they're
was
waiting.
conversations and dialogue happening. Yeah.
As a viewer, I forgot about Faith. Like it's not.
Yeah.
This isn't a person. Like I was like
Of interest?
kind of. I was like, oh, I think I've seen that
Thank God for
person
that.
before.
I'd like to forget about it from now
But
on.
what I'm saying is like it just is like it feels random. So you forget that I'm sure that she's around.
That's why they threw that
Yeah.
flashback in. I think just
Yeah.
to be like,
right,
remember
right,
her.
remember her. But but it
Because
feels
if
a little.
it wasn't for this news, she wouldn't be in the show.
Yeah, you're
She'd be
right.
at the party.
I didn't hang out with Faith, obviously, but now you have to remember that this is in the summer, right? So this is
Okay.
the first episode. We have not filmed since last August, other than the reunion. Why would Faith be at the reunion?
Right.
She hung out with Jax and Brittany
Yeah.
Yeah.
quite
That's so
often.
gross.
Probably hung out with them
I'm
after
just
the
saying-
incident happened.
And with like
Yes.
James
Yeah.
and Lala and Jesse, like I mean, she was still in the.
But I guess what I'm
the
saying is
mix.
there are so many other times. Like it's so.
So the cameras weren't on though, so why bother?
Why
bringing it
wouldn't
up?
if you had an affair with Jax? Why wouldn't you be like, I really don't want it to happen?
Because the thirst is
On
real.
camera.
Because
I
the
know.
thirst is
I'm
so
just saying. I
strong.
know
Yeah,
why.
You're talking about sane,
But
rational
like,
people
imagine
who
you're a
aren't
normal
desperate
person
to,
that
yeah.
has an affair with someone who's on a show. You're like, oh fuck! Like my worst
And what
nightmare
sane, rational
is that it
person-
comes out on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
was my
your
worst nightmare, right?
Exactly. Which I actually believe. Why I got when you lie is like, yeah, I get
let's
it.
like turn back the fucking time a little
Okay,
bit.
okay.
So Faith was not in last season.
Yeah.
Right.
She was
I
in
was
the
like,
season.
when is it?
Yeah, no, just so she was in the season before.
Okay.
And then she wasn't in last season. But she was still up in the mix, right? So they're hanging out. You know, she knows like time is coming, and then takes an opportunity with Jax and does some stuff, and then goes
That's so
to one of
creepy.
the first like filming events. Tap into the psyche of someone who
Yeah.
was on a
I'm trying
show,
to tap
then wasn't
into
on
it.
a show, but still in the mix of people, and then found an opportunity to make themselves relevant. Of course, why would she probably only did that to like
Get-
guarantee
Yeah.
guarantee
I
a
know.
place?
Yeah, that was her insurance
Or so-
policy.
yeah,
Why
exactly.
else?
So
But
sad.
here's the really crazy thing. So she did that. So as sick and fucked up as it is, we can tell that is what she did and why she did it, right? Now, what the fuck is wrong with Jax that he would sleep with someone that's not just in the circle, but actually has been on the show and is clearly just desperate to be back on the show?
Well, we tried to get at that in the interview where it's like you have a death wish, you like want this to happen. It's
Well,
not just you want to
Especially
cheat.
with Jax, who like always preaches, and like we all do talk about how like our show like really is very organic and very like real.
Right.
Like these are real relationships and everything like that. But you know, over the course of time, there's some people that have sort of like attached themselves and sort of glommed onto things that they're call them thirst traps. You know, like that has become a real thing. And while we maintain, you know, the realness of everything, and we bring ourselves and we bleed out for it, there are people who will infiltrate and really try to interject
And Jax just
Inject
loves those
themselves-
fucking people.
inject themselves into situations to
what
like
bothered me even more was you hear a rumor that someone has that Brittany's boyfriend has cheated on her, and this is how, and that guy Jesse just decides to say, "Oh hey, yeah, did you hear that?
Girl,
like he slept
I
with Faith?
fought
Yeah,
with
yeah.
him.
What a cool fucking
What a
that-
What a good
nice,
friend.
what a
What a
great
good
person.
friend,
right?
That's
yeah.
how you do it.
He's Brittany's
at a
really
party,
good friend because
at a party.
he's now known this rumor for a hot minute, right?
wait, do we know how long he knew for?
No, I don't know. I'm not. I mean, I
don't know.
because I know he's listening to this, but Jesse and I have fought over this more times than I can even count since that day.
I would have gotten mad at him for
Because
how
I
he
did.
told me.
Oh, yeah.
How he?
Oh, absolutely.
No,
I
she
lost
should have
my
been
shit on
like,
him.
"Hey, even if that is true, the fact that you're telling me like at a party on
Because the
camera,
thirst
fuck
is
you,
real.
fuck you." Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's
Everyone
so
can,
obvious.
Everyone
It's
can
so
flash
obvious
back
as
to
a
a YouTube
viewer.
video
It's
where
really
Jesse Montana and Faith Stowers went on to a quote unquote red carpet Step and Repeat, and did an interview saying that, this is 2 seasons ago, I think, when they said,
well, how does the old cast feel about you guys, you newbies coming in and like kind of stealing the show? Has there been some jealousy there?
I mean, I feel like that was the biggest issue. Like I've known the primaries for the main cast for like 2+ years, and Scheana was like my best friend. We had a little bit of a falling out in the last couple months, so that's kind of gearing up into the next season. We'll see what happens with that, but it's crazy, they have this show and they have this thing and this brand that they're really, really excited about, and I respect that 110%. I just say, embrace the new, embrace the fresh, and we can all do this together, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a line in the sand, but if you want it to be, then you know what, welcome to the sandbox. I'm ready for it.
The new, the fresh, and the younger. Just saying.
We've seen enough of some of those other folks, right?
We've seen enough. They're getting married.
That's a whole nother show.
If I want to watch somebody get married, I'm going to watch Real Housewives because you know what? They're rich. We're not rich. We're just balling out here in these streets.
The LA hustle. We're making it work. We're trying to be chic as fuck to the max, okay?
Young and having fun.
and you're not on the show because no one gives a fuck about you and they're not invested. So they take this opportunity. Yeah. Both of them.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly more Faith than Jesse. I'll definitely throw that out there. But they both took that opportunity. And I lost my shit on Jesse. I was like, how dare you do that to Brittany when everything Brittany has done for
There was
him?
no question of loyalty or why now or why, how could you do this? There was no, I never questioned that because it was beyond obvious.
Yeah.
Why
like
Faith did it and why
I just think
she
it
would,
undermines
like,
the show
know.
because it doesn't feel real because you're like, no one in real life would like reveal something.
That's
it
not real though. It makes those people unreal.
Right. I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm
Yeah.
just saying it just feel like just
it's a side effect of the machinations of these two thirsts. Like
because you're just like
because I mean like those are the, but that's why do you think I only have a few friends?
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean?
That's what
because these are the people that come around and then do stuff like this.
Let's say you're being smart. You just be like, hey Brittany, I need to talk to you for a second. Like at least orchestrate going to the bathroom and have that whole scene of like you going.
I don't know, 3 days ago because you have her number, you know where she lives. You drop by.
The only reason and why you hold on to something is something I held on to that I had heard about.
Yeah,
a few years
Katie's
back.
Pointing at me right now. Just so y'all know.
When I had been told that like supposedly Jax had told Katie.
Don't say the J name.
You know, but about the two of you.
About Jax and Kristen sleeping together.
You know,
just to be clear.
I had more stake in that to not say anything.
Right. There was no first element to the reveal of that.
I didn't hold on to that and wait until the camera was pointed at me.
Right.
There was more stakes.
There was off camera running down the street.
No, but there was.
You had to be talking about the next day because it was off camera.
I'm not talking about the coming out. I'm talking about why I didn't say anything
because you didn't
for
want
so
to.
long.
Yeah.
Because those stakes were higher.
And also, you didn't want to throw your friend under the bus.
You did it because it was eating away at you and shit was going on and it was.
And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of like I don't want to have the finger pointed at me right now because I've been holding on to some shit. So here it goes. Like but I don't. That's not the
different.
case with
That's
Jesse.
Not what this was.
Totally
because
there's like, hey, have you heard?
He found the best light too. They're in one fucking spot in the club where there's actually.
If we're
light.
gonna talk about the friend group here, they're like second cousins removed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're
you
like
just have to see them at certain gatherings.
They're like a very distant extension.
Like barnacles. Yeah.
You know, it's like they're like in the mix, but like not totally in the mix. They don't know like the everything about everything, but they like maybe knew this or didn't. But it became very obvious.
Faith was like, if I can fuck my way into this group, maybe I'll be a cast member.
Yeah.
Nope. Sorry, bitch.
Well, it's worked for some people. It's worked for men.
It worked. It worked for James.
It did work for James.
Maybe that's our fault because we made examples out of some people, or not we.
He
but
thanked me at the premiere party. He goes, "Thanks for making me rich and famous." I'm like, "Go fuck yourself."
Oh yeah. By the way, the premiere party, which he would not fucking shut up because I'm just rich now. I'm so rich. I'm such a rich guy. By the way, I'd love to let's just pause on that for a second and go to Alana's impression of meeting James for the first time.
Hey, please.
Please do. Everyone will be thrilled with this.
I feel bad.
Oh,
what? I've never.
You feel bad?
Just because
I'll give you a list of fucking reasons why you should never feel bad. Okay?
I've never interacted with a human being where like they rubbed me more the wrong way.
It was visible.
Ever.
Your discomfort was visible.
Like I mean, he just.
I have butterflies right
like
now.
when you're watching on
Feel
the show,
them.
you're like, this is such a bad person. This can't possibly be how bad this person is in real life. No, they're worse. They are worse. Like he was just stomping around the party talking about how he was rich. And so I said to him, oh, really? Why are you rich? Are your parents rich? Or how much do you make on the show? And he just like would not respond to me, because you can't just go around saying that you're rich.
Yeah,
like
no,
that's
exactly.
such a weird thing to walk around saying.
really
That's also what you
bizarre.
say when
I'm
you're
not
not
fucking rich, so I don't know how he is.
Well, what's it define? I wonder what rich in his mind means.
See, when I think rich, I think like millionaire.
I think
My
of Lisa
brain just
Vanderpump.
goes-
I
yeah.
think of
Yeah,
Villa
Lisa Vanderpump,
Blanc,
exactly,
like
yeah.
Villa Rosa.
Yeah, your house has a name. That's rich. Yeah.
I live in an apartment. I don't have a yard. I don't have like a nanny or a dog walker. Or, like I have to like Venmo my friends to like help me out with my dog.
And wait, doesn't James live with Stoner Paul?
As far as I know, I
Well,
actually,
yeah, when I think of rich, I think of like, you know,
Millionaire,
Angelina
like, I don't
Jolie
know.
with her like chateau
Yeah.
in France. Like I think of like Villa Rosa, like Lisa Vanderpump. I think
like
of
James
like
bought a new
the,
rug that
the
didn't have a puke stain on it.
Kardashians.
That's not
like
really fucking
that's
rich.
that to me is like
Okay.
rich. I'm just like,
Wait, just tell me more about your opinion.
His energy is really freaks me out. I don't know.
So
It's
intense.
really
It's hyper and in your face.
there's something
and
wrong.
it
There's
is.
something just
It's not
like,
assertive. It's aggressive.
yeah.
It's
I don't- I mean,
it's like-
I've-
it's
I
like,
don't-
Alana, you know.
Well, the thing is,
I
don't think to be honest, I don't think he's ever actually acknowledged. This is just like me, like being in a space where he is. Like, I don't think he
Yeah.
knows who I am or has ever looked at me in the face. Like that's the thing. He's just walking around ranting. Like it's not.
Yeah, we just happen to be next.
We just
to
happen
him.
to be
And, like,
next to
well,
him.
You know, even with me, sometimes I don't know if he remembers me, and then later he was like, "Man, there doesn't have to be like a barrier between us. You know, there's a lot of rude fans, and you're like cool." And I'm like, what
You're like,
are you
wait,
talking
what?
about?
Fan
Like,
what?
I was like, yeah.
were you also like, what barrier, dude?
Well, the barrier was only he acts differently every time I talk to him.
A mutual friend of ours was there, and he was like, "Kristen, let's take a photo." I was like, "Yeah, for sure." Like, we were like standing outside because the lighting was shit inside, obviously. And then James was like there, and he's like jumping in. I'm like, "Bro, no." And then James like tried to get like next to me, so like I was in the middle because I'm the girl, and I'm like, "Yeah, no." Like you go, no. I'm like, you go on the other side. You're not standing next to me. I'm fine enough with him. I'm not a dick.
Yeah.
Like to his face. Like I'm just like, you know what? We're on a show together. We're
Yeah.
gonna be around each other.
Yeah.
It's laughable. It's fine. It's whatever. I don't fucking care. But yeah, he did come up to me and say, "Kristen, thank you for making me rich and famous."
Which you did. No.
Yeah, it's all my fucking fault. To the cast, to the crew, to Evolution, to Bravo, to NBC Universal.
Look, he's good television.
But is he that? Is he? I don't know.
No,
I find
is
him
he
really
good television?
He is. I'll say it.
Wait, we were talking about the rug because I want to tie that into when they're like him and his friend Logan, and they're talking about the stains on
They
the carpet.
tickle fought.
They tickle fought, exactly.
Logan's eyes and like eye rolls every time James talked about Raquel.
Oh yeah, when they hug when Raquel walks in.
Oh my god.
Why was he even there when she was
Logan
there?
had this like look of
his best
defeat
mate.
on his face, and like he just was like, "All right, game over. Like I'm out of here." Like it's so bizarre because like I don't know Logan, but I know I see him in Sir and like around James,
Yeah.
and like we exchange like hellos and like formalities, but like we don't like know each other, like hang. And I certainly don't know like their sort of like interaction
Dynamic,
and
right,
like
right.
I don't know how like they behave around each other. So like that was really interesting to me to see because I was
Samesies.
like,
No,
okay.
totally. Like I was like, "Who's this guy?" And it was like, "Oh, it's his friend." Then they're tickle fighting, and I was like, "Oh, they're more than friends."
the cookie?
But what bothered me about it was I was like, okay, sure, you have friendships. This is a reality show, but like it also means more. And like the depiction of this weird, like to bring in a gay character and try to, and like immediately there's like this narrative of like, he's like, I don't know. It just like, it felt homophobic to me. Like I was like, you have a gay,
What seemed homophobic?
just the fact that he has a gay best friend and they're already like, he's kind of I mean, maybe it's actually true that he's having some affair, but it just feels like
Well,
this
that's how it struck
stereotypical
me.
thing of like, oh, he's this gay best friend who's trying to like turn him, and he has this like great girlfriend, and then like on the side is like, it just felt like it's such an old school narrative
But
that
for me
felt-
as a viewer,
fucked
and
me
this
up.
is an ex-girlfriend of
Yeah.
God, kill me, an ex-girlfriend of James Kennedy. As a viewer of, because I clearly didn't know about that scene, I also don't know Logan very well. I
Right.
have, again, like Katie, seen him in passing. I've met him sort of, but the tickle fight thing.
Yeah, look, it could have been another woman.
Like,
it could have been another woman, and I would have felt the same way.
Exactly.
I just thought they have a dynamic.
I just think are there any like gay male cast members?
What I think after watching it, this is 100% as a viewer.
Sure.
And sort of James' ex-girlfriend. I don't think James is gay, but I don't see that as like, oh, Logan likes him and they're making fun of it. I see it as like, what the fuck goes on behind when Raquel's gone for months at a time. A hole is a hole. James likes attention, and I think James just likes to get his dick sucked. That's what I think.
And also, that's, to me, that's
just on this episode, literally. And I've never thought that. People have asked me.
I saw on this episode, and what I'm saying
people ask me if I think James is gay, and I don't think that, but I think that James just likes attention.
Right, but I'm like, they're gonna make this guy Logan's gonna look like so fucking bad and shitty and predatory.
No.
That's how I read into it.
But he kind of is predatory.
I'm sure. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's not. But like when the one like gay character you have is like that, it feels weird.
Well, wait. What about the aspect of like, so here's what it looked like to me. So he's clearly
Logan's trying to turn James gay.
No, not at all.
Oh, see, I feel that way.
Let me actually say what my thought. So that he is doing this stuff with Logan. Like there's some kind of thing going on that's more than friends. And James doesn't give a fuck if Raquel sees it, if Logan is hurt, doesn't give a fuck because he's just there to have his amusements. So he is happy to have Raquel dangled in front of Logan's face. And he's just like, yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah, see you later.
Like, you know what you're
not
here for,
acknowledging
Logan. You know
it.
you're just my side ass piece.
That's how it struck me.
I am.
That's you worded it
I
much
don't
better than
think
I did.
that there's that much awareness.
Yeah, I know. I'm reading into it far too much, I think.
No, but that's fair because you don't know.
I don't know.
We're doing a podcast about the show. I mean, it's fine to read, and that's like the whole.
I'm just kind of like,
you know what? Honestly, there's some people I believe like a hole is a hole, whatever. But like, I think maybe there is like a sort of like sexuality awakening that's
spectrum.
happening.
I would love to see.
That's what. No. I'm just saying. It's like maybe.
But I don't think James is willing to say.
It's not about no, but Kristen, it's not about. But it's not about saying that, and I'm not like being presumptuous or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, you know, seeing.
Look, I dated the kid. Okay.
Can I talk? Can I?
Yeah, go.
Talk. I'm not.
We're all excited. That's all. We're just
don't do this to me.
We're like, so this scene makes us all amped.
I'm not being amped right now, but you just went like this to me.
No, I'm saying we're all amped about the scene because it was such a crazy scene.
I know.
To watch.
I just sat and waited, and now I'm gonna put in my input. But don't do that. Don't go like. No, that was pressure on me. I love that scene so much because I was just like, oh my god, what? Because I've never seen James like that. I never see him and Logan together. This was like very like voyeuristic to me into someone's life. Yeah. Like, you know, I feel like I was like very much along with the viewers of this, but to me, like, it almost seemed like endearing in some ways because I'm just like, maybe James is bisexual.
Yeah.
Maybe he actually like is like likes his friend as well, and I don't know what goes on between them, and who knows, him and Raquel have, like, they live separately, like maybe they have an understanding. I don't know, I don't get it, I'm not sure, but you know, it very much seemed like they were getting along in their like element, and then Raquel walked in and there was like a flip of the switch, and then Logan was just like deflated and just like walked out. But I was just like, shit, like it seemed kind of like a genuine kind of thing that I was like kind of taken back by. I was just like, oh
no, the affection seems like, very real.
They're right. Like, they're full on, like, to me it appears that they're full on flirting.
I agree.
Like,
I think that would be great, but I also think like I can see where this is going, where I can see the interview with James where he's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'd never do that. Like, and he's just probably saying homophobic shit. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
and if that does happen,
I'm
sure
I don't know,
if it does happen, then he can go fuck himself, because
no,
it's
I
very
can just
clear
see it.
What I watched, what we've all, the four of us right here, witnessed on camera, what we watched as a viewer, because we were not in James's apartment.
Right.
It's very clear the connection or the interaction, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
look at how James talks about women he's had sex with, that he then changes his mind about.
Because James is a fucking douchebag. So if James starts being homophobic, that's nothing against
Bravo,
NBC or Evolution.
Of course.
That's on James, because he just sucks.
And I think it'll be interesting to see his whole reaction to it, because a couple of years ago on the Instagram account, there was a picture of Kristen and James getting ready for something. And I think our joke was like, it really, are they boyfriend girlfriend? Because he's really coming across like a gay BFF right then.
Yeah.
And I think we were taping with Jason or Tim Haaland on that episode or whatever. He wrote a paragraph and a half, freaking out.
Of course,
going berserk, like nuclear.
Well, it's a little too close to home. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, what if people who are wildly homophobic or like freak out over that stuff? Why do they do it? We all know.
I guess I'm just saying I'm looking forward to seeing how he reacts.
No, I can't wait to see the progression of this thing.
No, me too.
On the other hand, if you're with a friend and then their like partner or whatever girlfriend comes in and jumps on them, like I feel like if you panned on my face, it would have been like really awkward.
I would have been more like oh, you guys are fucking gross. Like I'm over it. I'm
exactly.
leaving.
There's like the pain of a lover scorned.
Definitely a difference.
It was the cookie fighting, the cum stain thing when he said, "Oh, like Raquel's coming back 2 months, so excited for the summer." And he's like, "Well, I'm excited for our crazy summer." And like he did that whole, I'm doing it right now for them, but he did this whole like tongue between his teeth thing and the grin. He's like that, and it was just.
Yeah, the way he talks about him, he drives me around. Like it's just
the way he talked about
creepy.
me.
It's
the way he talked about me.
Well, it's a dismissive sort of.
Yeah,
it's
that's
insulting,
true. Wait, give us the context, because maybe I'm just like shocked at seeing him back in action. The way he talked about Logan,
he's like, "Oh, we do everything together. Like we worked out, we went hiking. Like he drove me around." I was like, "That's pretty sure."
Does he not drive?
Like 2
by
years
the way.
ago.
People who like maybe are uncomfortable talking about sexuality, no matter where they stand on it, sometimes they just feel, and especially maybe some people that are like confused or suppressing some things, that they sort of have a very like serious stance against things, and they want to highlight certain aspects of their friendship. Like when he said like, "Oh, well, we go out together and like, you know, he's clearly into men, so he gets the guys and I get the girls." It's like, why do you need
why
to
did
like
you just say that?
Yeah,
Such
see, that's
a
the
weird
thing.
way.
But that's what I mean. That's what I said. Like,
Yeah.
why
This
do
is
you
what
need
I
to
mean,
highlight
like,
that
again,
point? I mean,
But then again, the show just shows you that they're like, here's what
and
he
it's
said,
not a
and
fault
we're
of the
just
show.
going to
It's not
show
like
it.
a show, but it's like he's being.
You know, and Katie and I actually discussed this exact kid. I'm so glad you brought that up, because we were talking about the episode obviously after we got to see it for the first time, and I'm not 100%, but I'm about 99.9% sure that he was not friends with Logan before he was dating Raquel. So you were out grabbing the chicks while Logan was grabbing the dudes.
That's right. When?
So,
what
like,
during
almost
time? What
just
time
to
period? Yeah.
push on that
Right.
point. Like, why was that so necessary?
Right, because it's either true or it's not, and if it's true,
Like
when
any
was that time
liar,
period? Or
Jax
if it's
Taylor,
a lie,
Jax Taylor to push on things that aren't necessary to bring up.
Yeah, extra information is always the telltale sign of a lie.
I think did I ask you, because I think we've talked about that, like, because obviously like when you were with James you didn't know Logan and you don't know him now, so there was a period of time after, but like it's kind of like
I feel like I may have met him for the first time at Scheana's party, to be very honest, because I remember Logan tagged me in an Instagram photo, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was in one of his photos, and it was like a photo of like me, Scheana, and like Brittany and someone else, and he was like in it, and I'm again 99.9. I was drunk, so I'm always gonna go with the 99.9%.
I'm glad I'm sitting down, because
I
goddamn it,
think
that's
I met
shocking.
Logan like truly like, nice to meet you, I'm Kristen, handshake for the first time at Scheana's birthday.
See, I didn't know that, because I don't know, because when you were dating James, we weren't friends, so I didn't know who you met or who he was friends with, and I honestly didn't see James often. I didn't no, but I mean, like, I didn't know like who he hung out with, so I didn't see him often enough to like keep tabs and roll call of like who he hung around with, so I didn't know like when they met or anything like that. And so the fact that you didn't know him, then I mean, who knows?
Yeah, we've never seen him actually, other than like Sandoval, like him having male friends or any friends really.
Well, because he either has, so the Sandoval friendship is very special for James, because that's the only one that is not. That's the only one that's
person
not.
who can stand.
Yeah, well, because with Schwartz can tolerate him to a point, and then Schwartz wants to murder him. Then Jax, they've had this combative relationship for so long that it's just fizzled out now, because at the reunion they sort of found a common ground and laughing at people.
We've always been saying that they're the same person.
Well, that's why he had such issues with him.
It's like dad and his father son.
Right.
But on the other hand, also like
Literally.
I actually just don't. Like, I think maybe there are similarities, but I also think there are major differences of like, you just can't imagine like
self-awareness and
I mean,
actually, even in terms of intellectual depth, there is a massive
maybe I just haven't seen Jax like totally off, but like just like the rich thing, like that kind of stuff is just and the thing and the Cardi like his ring. He was talking
they're
about
more
his
alike than
ring.
you think.
It's like
Jax carries around. Well, he probably doesn't currently, but for many years, Jax carried a fake black Amex in his wallet. Well, it wasn't a fake one. It was someone else's. It was someone who left it at Sir.
They're
and he put it on the outside of his wallet.
They are
just to-
more alike
Trust me.
than they would
Okay,
even
well,
like.
but Jax has
actually
learned to
have-
hide it maybe better.
No.
Well, Jax hides a lot of things. Let's be
I
honest.
actually have fought.
Oh my God,
I
these
fought the Jax James
guys are-
comparison for a very long time. And then I was like, you know what? Why am I fighting this? Just accept the
I think it's real. I just think it's.
Well, you fought it because you were dating James.
No, but even after that, I think James wants to. I think James likes the attention Jax gets, and he's almost like wanting to. He sees the similarity. We all see the similarities.
We see the similarities, but
correct?
Jax to me has a likable aspect to him.
So
that
James,
Well,
is
let's
like
go back to the
James-
energy thing.
James
the energy.
is trying
Let's
to
go,
be that.
Let's go back to the energy thing. So when you met James, you had a very visceral reaction, right?
Yeah.
Now, what about when you meet Jax?
No, Jax
is affable, very like he's agreeable to talk
He
to.
has, like,
He can handle himself.
read some social cues where he's not like,
Yeah.
he just feels more normal.
He's aberrant in certain parts of his life, but not
At least
in
at
all of
least
those.
to
James
me.
is 25 years old, and he's
Yeah,
trying
you're
to
right.
be this
But that's what I mean.
38-year-old
That-
who's
You're
already
right. There's a
famous.
lot of time.
But this is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like this is why I like there's the age gap where I think
You're right.
Jax over some more years than he has on James.
You're right.
It's like
Has
22
learned some
years.
things, yeah. Where where James is like kind of like, but I imagine like that like the behavioral things would be they're somewhat parallels and
to me, I think it's a little bit of a cultural difference where it's like Jax Midwest, blah blah blah. Like it's a different kind of bro douche.
James's fake cultural bullshit.
No, James
He went
and
to Beverly Hills High
but
School.
James, no, exactly, but it's different. Him and
Yeah.
his like weird fucking like his British accent, his Beverly Hills. It's just like a different
it's his
kind of
parents.
douche.
it's also like the
that to
Alana,
me
you're
rubs
right.
me more the wrong way.
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm not saying that they're not similar, but like
You are
it is
absolutely
different.
fucking
It is
right.
different.
Well,
Different
they
kind of
exaggerate.
It's different.
In different ways.
Exactly,
I mean, they
but
both feel the need to impress and the need to like be
Sure.
accepted
God
and
damn it,
liked,
you're
but they
right.
do in different ways.
James is a bigger. It's a more
It's
annoying
oh my
douche than Jax
god.
is. Where
I mean,
Jax
does
does
Jax
more
wear
horrible
rings
things.
and that he brags up? Like
Oh,
he was
God.
also talking about his Cartier ring.
Oh yeah, well James's whole thing. So there
Like
was his
I'm
whole,
sorry.
No, James did this
And
little set
Amex,
piece.
it's like it's more relatable. Okay, they're both bad. You have these
Well,
weird
let's
fake
explain
things,
the
but
Cartier thing because he was like anyone got a cigarette, and I was just like no one's responding. So I was taking one out, handed him the pack, right? So he hangs onto the pack for like a minute, and I just get like antsy when someone like has my pack of cigarettes. I'm just like, can I have that back now? Like,
Just like
so.
if they have or you're anything.
And also, in the meantime, I see him check his pocket and check the contents of another pack of cigarettes. And I just don't like that, anyone doing that. So I'm like, hey, are you about done with those? Like, I'll have them back. He's like, what'd you think I'm going to do, mate? Steal your cigarettes? Don't need to steal your cigarettes, mate. I'm rich. And he's like, when mates of mine like try to steal my Cartier ring, I look them right in the eye and I go, mate, you just stole my Cartier. And they like freak out. The whole time
This
I'm
is what
still
I'm
trying to
saying.
get my pack of cigarettes back. And it's this weird performance
His mother
art
stole
thing.
my
It's
Adderall.
this
Like,
is
I'm gonna off myself.
this is what I mean. Like there's something about it, and I'm sure it's just like
Yeah,
Maybe-
because no, you're right. God damn it! Now I'm being like, oh, Jax isn't as
No.
bad as James. They're a different kind of bad.
yeah. I don't think it's about who's worse. I think
It's a different kind of douching.
it's
You're right.
different.
That was the best way
and
to
to
put it.
me, that like LA fucking douche, like the
Like,
the
look
way.
what I have. Look who I am.
Oh, but also the
but you're
British thing,
not.
and then like exaggerating his accent. It's just it really bothered me. I feel bad because I'm like,
don't feel bad.
no, I do feel bad because I'm like maybe he just made a bad impression.
This segment brought to you by Burnt Bridges, the hot new batch of bomb-ass bangers from international EDM sensation James Kennedy. James Kennedy. James Kennedy. Burnt Bridges will bust your lip with love and fury, gangsta style, yo! Featuring such legendary thumpers as Fucking Over My Friends, My Sex Is Crazy, My Hair Is Crazy, and Blokes Don't Kiss Guys. Bomb Ass Bangers is the perfect collection for ladies on the go and lads who just want to get on the show. Burnt Bridges, available exclusively at Studs Theater, Santa Monica Boulevard, West Hollywood.
the number one way. If you actually have money, you never say it.
Yeah, that's
you
a
never
telltale,
say
yeah.
it. You never talk about it. It's like
Damn right.
so fucking trashy and gauche. Like to like be like, that's how you can tell.
So you're
I don't
saying
know
he's
why.
a gauche douche. I think that's a nice little quick
I like
nickname.
it.
I'm just saying, if you want people to believe you're rich, you will never ever say I'm rich. Never.
No, of course not.
And that is the difference between he and Jax. Jax is an asshole sociopath, but Jax doesn't walk around
He wouldn't.
just being
No,
like,
he only does that with his girlfriend.
yeah, exactly.
Sure, but to
Only
the
in Kentucky.
But Jax has enough. He has enough. Like he'll be like, oh, here's a person I don't know. Like I'm not
No,
going
you're right.
to talk
Because he
about.
was raised in the Midwest,
Yeah.
and
He's
like,
a little bit more.
He's like, hi, how are
he
you?
wears fucking t-shirts and like, yeah, and like says hello and eats at Hooters, and he's like chill. And no, you're right.
He's a little more down
Jax
to
is
earth.
easy
Down
to
to
hang
earth.
out with.
Down to earth.
Parents like Jax. They don't. Parents like Jax. Katie's mom loves Jax.
My grandma loves Jax. She calls him
They
sexy all the time. It
People
creeps
don't
me
like
out.
James because
Right. This is what I'm saying. Is it's like reacting to that guttural. Like Jax feels
Also,
more like
it's
hometown boy who's a douche, but like the the quarterback that's like a fucking asshole, but like he's your hometown boy. James is that fucking asshole who like you see on a show, like this isn't a real person, and they actually are, and they're in LA. Like
10 years
it's an
ago,
LA
they were
person.
true
but the
legit
thing
in
is, but
bondage.
the
Right?
hard, the
Wait,
hard,
Katie's been trying to say
the
something.
hard thing is that and something I have an issue with, and I take an issue with people about this, is when people have to like always make claims about themselves.
Oh, yeah.
I'm this, I'm that, I'm the realist, I'm rich, I'm cool, I'm a cool girl, I'm drama free, I'm all that. Like when people have to constantly themselves point out that, basically to me means like you're the opposite. Because like if you are that, then you are that, and you most likely are not consciously aware of that. Like it just it's innate, and it's
Right.
who you are, and that's the ease that comes with you and what way you present, and that's your whole character. But when you have to kind of like do that, it's like you're trying to sort of like emulate, or you're trying to like
You're trying to do PR on everyone.
yeah, you're trying to
basically.
like do PR for yourself, being like, no, I'm like drama free. I don't fuck with that. I don't
if
do
you're so
this.
rich, why don't you just hire a publicist?
Like no, if you're rich, then you just are
That's a
fucking
really good point,
rich.
Greg.
You're rich, you don't walk around to
If
parties.
you're rich, people know you're fucking rich. You don't need to tell people you're rich. If you are that fucking laid back, people are gonna know you're laid back. That's the last thing you need to tell. Like if you are,
No,
but
you're
you don't
right.
need to tell people what
But
you
that's-
are.
I
if
actually
you
think
just
like a
are.
general rule of thumb is just never to proclaim a thing about yourself. Like
Can I
I've
say
tried to
that
do
I'm
that.
I
Like,
think no. I mean,
right. Like just don't ever be like I'm chill or I'm not. Just
I am
don't say
fucking
anything.
Crazy.
That maybe that means you're not.
I truthfully think like a healthy dose of self-deprecation
Right,
Well, yeah.
and honesty with yourself, and
But
sort
that's
of
different. You're not trying to pimp yourself out as like the
No,
drama
I know. I mean,
person. Like,
I
if
think
you're like,
I think it's healthy to
Yeah.
check it with yourself and be
Yeah,
like,
So we all know
you
James is like fake fucking rich, and he's wearing fake shit, and he has fake Instagram followers, and
No, but it's also the same thing when you have to go around proclaiming how amazing and happy and your boyfriend and your relationship are.
no, I saw you were getting there. It was like the kitchen scene. You're like, so like Brittany, I'm so annoyed with putting away wine glasses. Oh my god, look at my gown for my birthday, and then it's like 3, 2, 1. It's like I'm so happy right now. My life is amazing. I'm so happy.
Well-
Rob makes me so happy. Like what the flying
how about
fuck?
on the show, she has to just one more dig at Shay. Like basically, thank God I can deal with a real penis now. Whatever she said wasn't that, but she was
Yeah.
like, oh, and like he's really packing in the pants, not like the last guy was. But there was some
the
kind
last guy she wanted to have children with.
She
Yeah.
said everything is bigger and better.
she has to just piss on him that little extra.
Yeah, it's
She's
fucking
so happy.
rude. It's
yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
rude.
it's
Like,
like
you guys
the-
have been through enough. He's not on the whether he's on the
leave
show or
him
not.
alone.
He's not on it right now. I don't know if he actually. I don't think he
It
is, but
stinks, is what
It's
it
It
just
is.
stinks. You
they're not
outed him as a
married,
drug
they are
addict.
divorced,
You know
have a
now.
new boyfriend. Move the fuck on.
That should be
Why
enough.
Are you still dragging.
And
Yeah.
if you're happy, then you're just fucking happy.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's okay if once in a while you're just like, I'm so glad I fucking got over my shit because I feel better about myself. You don't need to just like every time there's a lull in conversation be like, by the way, I'm fucking the best ever and my like boyfriend's penis is so big, and I've like never been happier, and I'm in the best place ever, and fuck the last 6 years of my life, and
I'm so happy because I'm sore all day long, and
I mean that to me it becomes a little like
well, you begin to be like siding with Shay, like you're kind of like, oh, now I see like the fucking psychopathic.
She can't see where it's like, okay, I've done enough. Now I should just let it alone. She just keeps hammering at the same soft target.
You know what, Craig? She has nothing else to talk about.
Well, no, it just comes to like it's come to be like, okay, no, I've had like plenty of like private conversations, and I'm like, yeah, I'm so happy for you. Like, oh my god, no, I'm really happy. Like, this is coming at the best time, and like that you reconnected with someone that you're with. That this is so amazing, you know. And you have like multiple of those, like a few, like dozen of those conversations, and then it becomes one of those things where it's like just always like, I know it gets to a point. It gets to a point where I'm just like, girl, like I already was happy for you. I was happy for you. Hold on. I'm talking
about
wait,
how
Chris,
you're because Katie. Sorry,
can I?
I got you. I'm just saying
No,
the only thing Scheana has to talk about is how you suck, and how Rob is the best thing ever and Shay sucks. Scheana does not have a hobby.
Okay, well that's
she has no friends.
Well, that wasn't where I was getting at with it. No, I mean you just took over to say something. No, I was just saying it gets to a point where we've had dozens of conversations about that, and I'm happy for you, and I think it's great. Again, I think it's great. And then it keeps going on. It's unsolicited. I'm like, yeah, I know. And it gets to, and then it's all of a sudden like, are you trying to like convince me still or yourself? Because we've already been over this 12,000 fucking times.
Yeah.
I know you're happy. I'm happy for you. We've already been over this. There's no new updates. You're not like pregnant or engaged. So like, I don't need to hear this.
And also, so there's a combination.
Like,
What's interesting is that it sounds like a combination thing. It's almost like, say someone, wins an Academy Award or something. If they just every time, like everyone knows, right? First off, so you have that one thing where you're like, it's so great. And I saw you in your dress and you looked wonderful. And my God, when you came up to accept it, you were so gracious and you thanked all the right people. And then like, maybe the second time you'd be like, yeah, no, that's right. I know you won that award, right? And I feel like I'm doing a Sandoval simile. Then like the third or fourth time, they just bring it up when you're like, do you guys want to have chicken salad? Do you want to get like roast chicken? And they're like, you know what's great?
At the Oscars, I had roasted chicken.
Yeah, did you know that? They had roasted chicken. It was the best roast chicken I ever had. But the great thing was really being recognized for my achievements.
Well, I also think that like part of why it feels so inauthentic is she was never really real about the breakup with Shay. Like, it's not like she went on camera and said like, I was like my husband was an addict, and this really like, and like opened up about how hard it was and how terrible it was, and like she wishes him the best, right? Like she kind of never even really got into like why that relationship failed. And this is like, why not be like, I wish him the best. I'm not trying to rub my new relationship in his face. I am trying to move forward, and here is why. I get things from this relationship that make me really happy, and like
especially 4 months later after the reunion, that they already had
they're
to
not
speak
even
about
divorced.
it.
Yeah,
and now so October, November-ish they divorced.
Yeah.
So now we're filming in May, June.
Right.
So
like
I'm just very long time for her to. No,
but
I'm
it's
agreeing with you. I'm saying
giving
the viewers like a timeline to now keep on dragging his name through the mud. It's like if you're
Kristen,
you're right. You're right.
It just feels
because
really
you guys,
like
this is
bad.
like I want everyone to like listen to what was just said right now and like understand what I'm about to say and like apply this wisdom to like acknowledge to fucking everything that goes on with Scheana and like especially
it's like an intro
us.
to a Public Enemy song.
I'm just saying because like yes, Alana, what you said is just like what she did. It's like I understand you were hurt, girl, but there has to be some grievance. There has to be some there has to be some closure or anything. But the thing is, and this is what I stand by, is that she is and always will be the victim, no matter fucking what. She is always the victim. And I know she was hurt by what Shay did to her in the end. And she wasn't exactly like the most like model perfect wife either.
We all
There's
appreciated what Shay took part in. We all appreciated it, and we all coddled her deservingly so. I don't mean coddling in a shitty way, but we were there for her and felt badly. But she has prolonged this shit, and I feel like will for years to fucking
But also,
come.
she's not actually going to be able to move on because it's so inauthentic. It's not like a real like. taking inventory of what happened in her pain.
Because
Right.
Scheana's always been one to like kind of brush things out the rug and always like searching for that next happy place. And so, she moved on like very quickly and
turned that bedroom into a closet.
Yeah, no, I mean, and honestly, it's just like, and I think everyone has to move at their own time and their pace, and like, they like, it's all totally up to them and everything like that. But also it's like, I don't think any of us saw her really address and really come to terms with like what had happened in this chapter in her life. And I think no matter how it ends or what leads up to it, I think giving it the respect it deserves and the best of the time that it was is kind of really important, to honor that in some way, so you can at least like put that person in a place in your mind. That's the healthy thing to do, to like not bury resentment with someone.
Think about any, and Alana and Craig, all of us, think about any like long-term relationship you've been in, right?
Yeah.
You need more than 30 to
30 days?
30 to 60 days, right?
By the way,
insane.
and when you don't, you say to your friends, got to get the new one to forget about the last one. Like, you're real about it. You're
Healthy
like,
distraction.
you're just,
I'm all
you
about
say
the
to your
healthy
friend-
distraction.
You say to your friend,
Sandoval and I broke up. I started dating James,
but you were real.
and then I was like,
you were
know
real
what?
about
Fuck.
it. You're like, it
That's
just
what I
helps you.
did.
It's a rebound, whatever.
Yeah, and
she'll
know
never
it.
say that. She'll
No.
never be like,
No, she's already saying like, I can't wait till the papers come through because then I'll have a new husband. Like, it's this bananas thing.
It is weird as shit to watch.
And I was I knew we were all happy for her to like be happy, because we don't want to see her, because you don't want to see her. You don't want to see her
like in a very dark.
course.
I saw her at times when like in times I didn't want to see her in, and having really difficult conversations.
But to not
and it was hard.
But the middle ground, like you were saying.
So
Alana,
as much as we were happy I was
gotta feel the pain, to
right,
move on.
or even just being like, I have this new relationship, but like I'm still upset about my divorce. I got divorced.
Yeah, I mean, I know she was.
Like, that's a big deal, and like I don't even want to know
saying those
financially.
words out loud,
like,
did
by
she
the
ever
way,
say
with the
them?
no
I don't
prenup,
know.
I'm like, she's just kind of like, I'm getting a divorce, and now I'm in a new. It's like, this was probably a fucking nightmare for
I
me.
mean, it was. Don't. She was super upset. It was really upset, but simultaneously of her being upset, she also like distracted herself, which I always recommend in a breakup. You always got a healthy distraction. No strings, just like
Have you said before when in our discussions, everyone needs their ting.
Yeah, you gotta get a ting. You gotta get a ting right away. Get a ting. You know what I mean? Like, just like get it.
But she didn't. She gotta like
the healthy distraction turned into like not a healthy distraction.
Well,
but
again, you said
total
sweeping it under the rug.
distraction.
She takes everything. She takes no stock of what's going on, and it's just, this is the new story. Everyone's got to fall in line with it. But also, she never thinks about, in addition to never thinking about how she's coming across, what that is doing to her internally.
I was shocked and like cringed. I mean, I've said some cringy things, and Tom and I have had some really cringy ass moments, but I cringed when she was having that conversation with Lisa, because Lisa was absolutely right. And like, I know Scheana like said the same things to me and to Kristen during that time around my wedding, and like that her and Shay were happy and felt great, and butterflies and everything like that. And so I know now she's trying to turn around and say like, oh, well, I didn't mean it, or I lied. And it's like, well, how, like,
then what's the real shit? What's real then? What's real?
I don't
the
know.
thing you told me then, or the thing you tell me now?
Okay, if you've shown that even the thing you say like on the fucking altar to someone isn't real, then there's nothing that can be trusted.
What's the guideline? Like, where's the
Alana, fuck yes. I'm like,
no, I'm literally just as an objective person. Like, this is just
That's
like
my class.
insane. It's like, it's one thing to be like, I've moved on. I like had this thing with this guy. Then I got married.
Tried really hard. I thought
we rekindled.
At the wedding,
but I feel bad.
Didn't work out. We were both unhappy.
I'm sorry.
Whatever. We rushed into it. Maybe yada yada.
Can you imagine
But
him
to just be
watching
like,
that? Like, just to see that the person he was married to said,
it's like 6 years did not exist. The wedding didn't exist.
That
the
is so
engagement,
fucking
the marriage.
terrible. Like, I don't care. I know that he did that. Whatever. They both did things, but like, even just like. Even if you thought that in your worst, darkest moment, to say it, and to say it as if it's cute, to say it as if it's like going to be applauded.
It was appalling.
This segment brought to you by the stains on the carpet in James Kennedy's apartment.
Alana and I interviewed Jax for MEL magazine, and He was really, really stridently anti-Kristen, which is not something new. But so let's listen to the piece and then we'll all reflect on it.
You know, with the Kristen thing, like you guys both kind of did the same thing, right? When you guys hooked up with each other. I mean, not the same thing. Like you were betraying your friend, she betrayed her boyfriend, blah, blah, blah.
I was going through a hell of a breakup at the time.
Right.
And not that it just doesn't excuse
No.
and it's Kristen, for God's sakes. And it was like 4 days after Stassi and I broke up. I was about 3 bottles of vodka deep. I was sleeping on Sandoval's couch. I haven't showered in 4 days. I was just a mess. And I was on the couch, and that happened, and that was one of my worst. That's out of everybody that I've ever slept with, that is my number one worst mistake. My number one. Not only because it was Tom's, girlfriend, but she's just so fucking gross. I don't know why I did that. I thought you guys were like on better terms now. No, I'm hot and cold with her, but she's just such a she's like a psycho. She really is a psycho.
But don't
she's
you think
crazy.
that you guys are kind of similar? Like you both.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's
why.
Okay, so what I was gonna say is like when
she's
that
a compulsive liar, cheater, which I believe. Yes, I'm a cheater. I don't lie though. I guess cheating is lying, right?
You don't lie.
What did I lie about?
Lying.
You've lied.
Can you give me an example?
There's things on the show.
Go ahead, bring it up.
Okay.
Bring one.
No, I did not sleep with Kristen.
Yeah, but I admitted it.
You did later. No, you're very good about copying this stuff, but sometimes there's the grace period.
Well, everybody
where
denies something right away, but then they're like, okay, yeah.
Sure, but I'm just saying we're talking about comparing you and Kristen, right?
Okay.
So the lying, you do lie, and you have lied. Everyone lies. I'm not saying that.
I'm not going to count that because that's denying, and then I came true. Everybody denies once they're caught, and then they're like, okay.
Okay, so maybe the definition of what you mean by like a lie, like making up a story or something like that.
Yeah. Is that what you're saying? Making up a story?
Well, that's what I'm just trying to figure out because you see
what story?
You're saying that like the way that Kristen lies, because you're saying she lies, right?
Yeah.
Is not just like denying something, but rather more elaborate.
Actually, no, you're right. She's denying who she like hooks up with. She's cheated on everybody she's dated.
Even the current guy?
Everybody. I'll leave it at that.
Well, okay, but my thing is, don't you think that she, like, you guys both essentially, you're very, in my mind,
I'm not going to sit here and be like, she's cheated. I've done everything that she's done. I'm not saying I don't have a leg to stand on. I've done everything that she's done. I'm not sitting there like I'm better than you, but she's trying to come off as she's trying to be better than me, and like you're a hypocrite.
I think that she got a lot more shit for. I think that
you think she got more shit than me.
I just feel like everyone was like, she's a slut.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of do have. I'm like a cat. I do have 9 lives. Like I do get away with a little bit more after a while.
I'm trying to get at the gender aspect. They all know that
I'm not a malicious person. I don't do it to be evil. Like I do it just because they're always like, oh, it's Jax. Oh, okay. Like that's why I think they're a little bit more lenient with me.
Guys are kind of allowed to. I mean, it's just more normal for men to have anger issues and do all that stuff, right?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I'm not going to sit there and blame other people. I'm my own human being. I make my own choices. I'm not going to sit there. Well, most men are like that. I'm like, no. I'm not saying
you
choose to do. You choose your path.
I'm saying terms of like you bouncing back because it's like more allowed by society for you to do that. Is what I mean. I just like to think if you were a girl and acted the same way, how it would be different.
So,
holy shit!
I don't remember push back.
Oh my god! How he just so couldn't many thoughts.
But you were so spot on, Alana.
Thank you. Well, no, but it's not. It's like
every word he said, then he'd retract the statement, and then actually he was like agreeing. And then disagreeing with you.
Disagree with me
because there's so much contradiction in my head. Like I feel nauseous. When you start to pin him on something, he goes, wait, what? Like all of a sudden he's like confused and he's like, wait, what are we talking about? Wait, I don't know. This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. Yeah. What are you talking about? Who told you that? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I mean, holy shit. That was
But that is
standard Jax. Alana, like I applaud you for just
seriously, dude,
owning his ass, because I like when you said like, well, cheating is lying. When he's trying to proclaim himself as not a liar, like what? The fuck, dude? What the actual fuck?
Name one time I've lied. Okay, well, I'll name.
I mean, I came out
season 1 that the viewers have seen. I did not sleep with the girl in Vegas.
Oh wow, I forgot the Vegas.
Tom Sandoval. I did not sleep with your girlfriend. Season 2, Stassi didn't do it. Everyone did it. Well, no, but I told everyone I did, so I did.
What about Carmen and Tiffany?
Yeah, Carmen and Tiffany.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
How about I did not say shit about Tom Schwartz or Katie, the motorboating even thing, all that bullshit, which was such like a dumb, mundane like thing. But he's like, oh, I didn't have anything to do with that. I'm like, you're the one that
Wait, what
told
about
me,
the
Jax.
the girl who's like a recovered addict who was in
Laura
Laura
Lee.
Lee. I feel like there's lying there.
Yeah,
with her.
Oh yeah.
There's
I
lies
can't
all over
name
the
one
place.
person he hasn't lied
the thing
to
is,
her
like
about.
he like not even counting the stuff you've seen on Vanderpump Rules. Like I mean, I feel like I'm lied to like on a daily basis. Like I just like
He
basically
went to Michigan
tune.
State. He was in the Navy. He was in
I
Afghanistan.
I tune him out most of the time. Except for the only time I listen to him is when he's denying claims. Of
Wait,
something
Katie,
he did.
remember right before last season when he moved into your building and he did like press with someone. I think it was like I don't whatever. He did press and he was like, "Yeah, finally, I finally just got my new place. It's like a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom."
I was like, "Where's your extra bedroom?
Where's that third
bedroom?"
Oh yeah, no, I asked him.
And
I'm like, "Where's
bathroom?
your extra bedroom, bro?"
There are 3 bathrooms, but there is not 3 bedrooms.
Yeah, no, I was like, "Where's your extra bedroom?"
Like that one little. You just had to just add that one little thing. In.
No. And then he
what?
said, well, there's the man cave, there's Brittany's room, which is the bedroom, and then there's our room, which is the living room. Like that don't count.
Why is Brittany's room their mutual?
No, he
bedroom?
said that Brittany's room was just her closet. It's like a giant closet, like kind of how Scheana has.
Well, and it's also
you
like
know.
it's like
It's
pretty,
just,
and then
again,
and
it's
then
like
Jax
those
has like
dumb exaggerations.
Jax
that are
has
so
his like
pointless.
man cave that has like Coors Light neon and like
Well, the new neon sign, Jax's
hockey
cave.
jerseys, like it's like the like epitome of like a man cave.
It's just like kind of like why lie about something that's not worth. It's not like you're lying to like save yourself or to like not hurt someone else. Or you're literally just making something up for no fucking reason.
Usually, I don't know if he's a pathological liar, but usually, like
Yes.
the tell of that is that there isn't a reason for their lying. They're doing it so much they don't even know they're doing it. There's not like a regular person who lies to save their ass. Like
to
you're
throw
lying.
back when we talked about you lying
way
about
that
sleeping
I
with
lie.
Jax.
Exactly.
Totally
that's
understandable.
like an
Everyone
actual
understood
lie.
that.
Yeah,
But
beyond
people
that-
who are real
Yeah, that
liars
was
will
Yeah.
lie about like, oh, I got X today for lunch. It's like, why did you even need to? There's actually no reason.
and they also
you know?
believe it too.
Yeah, they do. They do.
but
They can't distinguish in between
He
it.
is
Exactly.
a narcissistic sociopath.
That's no, it's actually like a
That's coming from
a
Kristen.
actually like
PSA.
it's a clinical diagnosis
Yeah.
for people like that
Well,
because they're
the
so
thing
out
that
of
I wanted to
touch.
get at, or was trying to, was like, I also think that it's just kind of acceptable that that's like a part of the personality of a lot of men. It's just like they're kind of like they can just kind of lie a lot, whereas like women lie one time and it's like, you're lying,
Yes.
slut. Like
You're
you
absolutely
really?
right.
What, how much you lied
Yeah.
that one time? I don't
Yeah.
know if it's like a part of your person. He lies like constantly, and it's just sort of like that's just his personality.
And in that moment, I was a lying slut. I wasn't a slut, but like
Right,
it was
but
a
you
fucked
lied.
up thing
What
to
I'm
do,
saying
and
is-
there was
is-
sex involved. Therefore, yes. But I absolutely agree with you. It's like the stigma, like on men and women. Like men fuck a bunch of bitches. They're like, fuck yeah, bro. Like high five.
Right.
A chick like has a one night stand, and she's like a total
Right.
whore. And in this episode, like, I love Schwartz, but Schwartz is like, I mean, I would cover for Jax. I'm not
Exactly.
covering
Oh,
for
that's
him,
That
but
was
I
my
would.
favorite admission there.
It's kind of like,
Oh
because he knows
my
that is
God.
Jax's, like, that's his thing, you know?
yeah, it's accepted that he's gonna
Yeah.
lie and do shitty
Do you think
shit.
Katie and Saucy or Brittany or anyone, if they were, would they,
Oh my
could
God,
you
no.
ever picture
And
that
that's
scene with Katie
the
being
reverse.
like, look, Carter, like, I mean, I would cover for Kristen. I mean, I'm not saying I am, but like, Kristen's not doing her normal, like, Tinder shit.
No, you'd
right
be
now.
like, what? Fucked up.
I knew where he was going with this. He was like, look, I know normally I cover for Jax, but I'm not right now because, you know, normally like I would, but like I haven't even heard about this because like normally like I
But
would
it's
have
just the
heard
fact it's
he
the
was
dude
he,
thing.
no he
Guys
was
say
no
that shit.
basically he was trying to be like normally I know about this stuff and I lie for them but I've never even heard about this, so I'm not lying when I tell you I haven't heard about this. I got what he was saying, but I was like, holy fuck, boy, you just fucked, you just you just
no, but it was
what
great
the fuck?
because that's true. I think
It was like kind of cute, but
it's a
also
dude
like,
thing.
dude, what the fuck?
that's the whole thing is like,
And also, Tom,
Covering.
can you also cover for me more rather than throwing me
But
under the
guys,
bus?
do. It's
No,
like
it's a
guys,
contract.
It's
It's a
fine if
contract.
guys are like fucking multiple bitches or they're cheating or they're like whatever. Just in a general.
something
not-
about
it's
this
always
first
okay,
episode
but-
is the way that he's like, me?
Yeah.
You think I would do
Why on earth would you ever think me?
like there's this divorce from reality of like instead of being like, I can see why you'd believe this because I have a history of doing things like this, but I didn't do this one, in which case I'd be like more believable. But he's just like, what?
This doesn't even make
What?
sense.
Yeah, that's what I love. This doesn't even make
I've
sense.
never.
Who? Me?
And then
And you're like, okay, you fucking did it. Like, we know you did it because of that.
And then when he says to Brittany, he's like, "You'll believe her over me."
Oh my god, it was like a Telemundos, like full on.
No,
like,
what did he say to Faith though? He looked at Faith and he's like,
It's like,
"Wait,
you're doing this.
He's
to
like,
me?
"You're doing this to me," and then he's like, "Are you serious? Are you doing this to me?"
Aren't you gonna? Why don't you go tell Brittany that we didn't do
said
this?
something
No,
I'm
right
being
after
set
that.
up.
he's like, no,
said
he's like,
before.
she's like, Sandoval came to me and said that you're telling people we had sex, so like, why don't you tell people we did it? And she goes, "Are you serious?" And he goes, "Well, we did." And she just like kept looking at him,
Yeah,
and
he was
like,
like, "No, are you really doing this to me?"
And he was like,
then
"Really doing
he
this to
said
me?" And
something
she-
else that is
About being
exactly
set up?
something he said.
He's
in
like,
the
"Really
past.
doing this to me?"
Yeah.
And she just kept looking at him. All she said to him was, "Are you serious?" And then he kept saying different things, and she kept looking at him like, "Motherfucker, are you real?" And it's like, you know what? I can't be like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, Faith, for getting to him," but because I'm also like, you did this on purpose. So like, why? Like, you can't act like a victim too. She
Right.
should have. Like, you can't sit there and be like, "Really, Jax, poor me." It's like, you brought this up and into the conversation tonight for a purpose and a reason, and that's not
Poor
what we're
fucking
talking about
Brittany.
right now. We're talking about
Yeah,
Jax
seriously.
talking about how it doesn't make sense why people are trying to set him up for.
But here's my question: does anyone, and I kind of asked this of Jax, like, do people who date you like actually think that you're not going to do that? Like, as a person who always dates bad guys, it's like we have to at some point be like, Jax is never going to be good. Like, I'm sorry, that's just like, if you
that
want
is
to have a
fact. You're right.
traditional family
Yeah.
and have a great relationship, I just don't think he's the
And
person.
I take part blame as Brittany's friend when they like a year into them dating. I was like,
being
"God
like,
damn
you've
it.
changed him,
God
because it
damn
feeds into this narrative.
I feel like he
Right.
had changed. I saw
From all appearances, from all outward appearances,
the Jax that I know.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest, because not excluding Stassi, because we weren't really sure how he was with girlfriends then, but like girls after that.
I did though, Katie. I've known Jax for 10 years. He was my first friend in LA.
Then why would you set him up with Stassi?
He had only dated Rachel. It was his only
So he's a
girlfriend.
good. No. I'm just saying us.
I'm just saying the Jax that I knew going into, let's talk about Brittany, it was like he could do 3 weeks and it was done. And if it lasted longer, there was a little bit of hope, right? And then with Brittany, I'm like, I don't see the telltale signs.
Right.
Like,
That's-
Jax
but no,
is
that's-
roommate.
that's-
Like, I know.
That's what I'm saying.
And I really didn't see those signs. And I
But-
did start saying, you know what? Fuck. Maybe Brittany actually, not like she's changed him, but maybe he's sort of turning a new leaf. Like, I don't know. I really
seemed
believe
that way,
we all
right?
said
He
that.
fucked
We all
me too.
we all said that too, because like we had only known him really as a boyfriend when it came to Stassi on both ends of it. You know, like I know he dated Rachel, but you didn't. You know. But when it came to Stassi, and so yeah, he dicked her over and he fucked her over and everything like that. So we became aware of those things, and then when we were just like, or at least on my end, I was just a friend of Jax when he was dating other girls, and he would openly talk to me about, because I wasn't friends with the girls he was dating,
Right.
so he would openly talk around like
Shenanigans, yeah.
fucking around on them around me, and I was like, oh my god, you are a piece of shit, holy shit, you know. So
I really did give him leeway with
yeah,
the
no,
Brittany
so
thing.
when
But the
Brittany,
second I heard this
but when Brittany came about, but because I wasn't hearing that, and I know it was because I was Brittany's friend, you know, but there wasn't a lot of that. Like, he was, you know, very like.
But there weren't even side stories that you'd hear from some kind of distant association.
and
yeah.
they would travel together and they would do, you know, there wasn't really any of that, and you know, and then there were things that were said.
I guess I feel like it's just putting too much pressure on Brittany, who's clearly amazing. It's like the one who changed him, the one. It's like, no, these are his problems. Like, he does this because he has fucking problems, and no one woman is ever. It doesn't matter if it's like the perfect person is going to be able to fix it. And maybe he has worked on those, but like
Brittany also, I mean, it's not like we ever sugarcoated shit for Brittany.
Of
at
course,
least
of
me.
course,
I'll
of
speak
course.
for myself.
No, we didn't.
As Brittany's friend, I was never like, okay, look, he's super great.
yeah, like I know.
Like,
She
come
knew.
on. Whether she says she didn't watch the show, she always says that. Maybe she didn't. I don't
No,
fucking
but
know.
yeah.
But everyone fucking knows that I'm the bitch that fucked Jax behind my boyfriend's back. There, I'm saying it out loud. You know, behind Stassi's back, blah blah blah. So, and I befriended Brittany, and
Right.
it's like I know what you're saying. Like, the pressure that she probably felt.
Right.
I was
am
just
saying,
trying to
like,
give her hope, and for me, it wasn't false hope, because
Right.
the second that I did hear this rumor at this party,
We
from
see
that
it.
moment
Yeah.
on, there was no more false hope. I was
No.
like, Brittany, this is how I feel.
The minute in Vegas when I met her and Jax was trying to creep in and be like, oh, who are you talking to? I was like, get away. And I like pushed him away because he had another girl there with him. I was like, please go away. And I was like, don't talk to him. A year later or whatever, when she's like right before she moves out here and she's talking about moving out here, I'm like, well, please tell me you're going to get your own place. And she's like, well, I mean, I'm like, Brittany, I'm just telling you, like, I know Jax and like, I hope, as much as I hope the best for y'all, like, you already know, like I've already told you like about him. I just want you to come out here and protect yourself. Like if you want to move out here and you're going to move out here for yourself because you're thinking about a change and you want that for yourself and you're not moving here for someone, then move here for yourself and get yourself your own place. Like do that. And thank you. And then she did it. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, like I still love you. I'm here for you. But like, holy shit, I'm not like none of us like.
We can't co-sign on this lease.
Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, like we all were pretty open and honest with her. We weren't like, listen, like run for the hills, but we were just like, hey, maybe you should just like protect yourself a little bit.
Know what you're getting into. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
like,
but of course it's like so much
like,
easier. When
if the people that he's closest
to
are telling you this, you should probably listen to them.
But that's the magic of love,
we
right?
We all got fucking jaxed.
Yeah, exactly.
At Scheana's birthday party.
Yeah.
We all got fucking jaxed.
The instant that you hear the rumor and you're just like, you fucking piece of shit, it's so great. Because I think we all know what we think happens. Of course, none of us really know what happens till the next episode comes out, of course. But
it's just like, it was the first time that I had really heard something so...
anything close to that during this time.
And it's like, where there's smoke, there's fire. Like, God damn it. Like, God damn it, Jax. Like,
yeah, we would normally have heard whispers, but we hadn't. So we assumed. And now we're like, dude, you fucking bummed all of us out.
I just like, I don't know. My gut.
Like,
I just knew it.
We were rooting for Brittany, but we were also like, maybe like 2% rooting for you that maybe you were like finally shaping up a little bit, but nope.
Yeah, because it would be so much easier to be his friend. For me, I'm speaking again.
Yeah.
For myself, I'm speaking for myself because like Katie's sort of like married into this friendship with Jax. Whether or not Katie's mad at him, she's married to
Schwartz is his publicist, and
I mean,
you know.
he only kind of like tried to like break Tom and I up a little bit, and like hated on me.
Said it yourself,
and he said he wanted to say it would give him such joy to watch Tom rail a girl in front of me.
But you know that you're sort of married into this friendship-ish thing with him because Tom's his friend and that's your husband.
But bottom line, the only thing that needs to be said about that is that Tom means so much more to me than anything that Jax could say or do.
Right. But
bottom line.
So it's like when Tom and Schwartz and Jax are friends, you're like, it doesn't mean that you don't respect Jax or the decisions he's making or the choices, but you're like, you know what? He's my husband's best friend.
It's because I love Tom so damn much.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
And that
I don't. Yeah. I do love Tom so damn much, but not enough to be friends
Kristen,
with
I need to be honest with you.
What?
It's because Tom loves you so damn much. That's why he likes you. Just kidding. He loves you, Doute.
He does.
Nah, I'm kidding.
But
no.
So in the thing, I was just like, Jax, why do you constantly like date people that are more traditional and like go into what if Jax just said, this is who I am. I am going to like maybe be in open relationships or like just kind of be a single guy forever, and that's who I am.
We'll fucking
okay. Like,
I'll tell you.
And
he
like won't do that because he fucking loves this dynamic of the bad boy and the great girl. And I was like, just don't date women. Like you could. And he was like, what? There are people. I was like, don't play dumb. There's so many people out there that like could be more compatible. Date someone like yourself. Date someone that is also like that.
Have you ever seen Bad Santa?
Yes.
No, have you ever seen Bad Santa? No,
yeah.
Like
he's Bad Santa. Like likes it. He loves the dynamic.
But Billy Bob Thornton, cannot ignore Merman Thurman or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He can't ignore the kid because he's like fuck, and he deep down wants that. He likes the companionship. He wants that, but he also like wants to like fuck shit. Like he just
he's also Bad Santa.
That also drives him almost more than the desire
is so
for family and anything that like it's
and
just
everyone has that, right? I think like that's why Jax. I think that. The way people relate to him, because doesn't everyone have
turkey
that?
Sandwiches and have the 2 dogs at home in his awesomely decorated apartment full of fucking quotes and his perfect fireplace and cozy sweaters.
That's
and
the
then
kid
he
from
wants
Bad
his
Santa,
fucking
by the way.
side ass bitches.
Exactly.
And for his girlfriend to not know about it, because if Brittany knew about it and she was, let's just say Brittany was that fucking chick who was like, you know what, I'm cool with this.
No,
nope,
that
would never be good
no,
enough.
Because that girl wouldn't be the right match for him to have this sort of picket fence fantasy.
Yes.
Exactly.
No, theoretically, he
It's
should
the
have
thrill,
that.
It's the thrill. It's the bullshit lies, and it's the thrill of maybe am I
It's the
gonna get
chase.
caught?
It's the
Yeah.
whole thing. It's like he's
God.
chasing the phantom. Remember we talked about
and that's
chasing
the thing
phantom.
is like no one can fix that, but Jack, you know, like no one's gonna
And
fix
he's
that.
at 38. He's never.
But the thing is, like, you know what? Like someone forgiving him and putting up with it and being like, it's okay, I forgive you, don't do it again. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't awaken anything. It doesn't make him feel more sorry. It doesn't
He
do
says
anything.
in your podcast, Alana, Craig, he says it. He's like, well, I don't know, because they're like, oh, it's Jax. It's like
it's the mythology.
He's subscribed to his own bullshit.
Yes,
he's subscribed to his own bullshit.
Not only knows, but is now clearly he knows, but he's admitting,
And everyone else is
that
bought
this
into
is
it.
what he gets to do.
When he says, I'm like a cat.
9 lives. He knows he can cheat on someone.
He's
X times
repeating
before.
everything that we have all said about him
I know,
for the last
I know.
8 to 10 years, and he's using that
After denying it too, which is
because he needs to fall madly in love with someone and then do his thing that he cheats on them and have them leave him like that.
Or someone who cheats on him.
No, because no one has done that. No one has left them the first time they've cheated on no.
He just kind of needs like the politician's wife that's going to be like,
Yeah, who will actively suffocate
who will
any
be like,
complaints.
I'm upset, but then be like, it's okay. It's part of it. The part of the dynamic.
Well, see, ideally, he could be with someone that they could both play around with other people, but he, again, this
No,
picket
no,
fence
he
fantasy.
could never handle that. No,
that's the
no.
thing. Exactly. No, because
He's
that's a
not that
challenge to
woke.
his own.
He can't be like with a girl who's like, that's the thing is when I brought it up, he's like, no, I'm always with the real good girl.
So it's not that like
No,
girls.
because if Jax's girlfriend was having an open relationship, fucking
that was fucking
right.
other guys.
He
He'd
would
have a
lose
meltdown.
his shit.
But the thing is, like, so many girls keep falling for him and his shit that
Because
like
he says, I love you, baby. I love you.
I
He
know,
tells them
but, like,
everything they want to
but-
hear.
Well, because
but,
he's so
like-
charming. He's a very charming person, as
Hence
we talked
why
about before.
Katie's grandma and mom like him. Mothers love him. He's charismatic.
Well, yeah, but my mom and grandma
He's
are
a
trying to like
salesman.
date him or fuck him.
No, but it's the
No,
charm. The charm quotient
It's
is the same.
salesman vibe.
Even when Brittany has me and Kristen and multiple people like giving her like not like subtle warnings, not like basically like run for the hills, but basically being like, you live your life, girl, but like make sure you're living it for
But
yourself.
here's all
Like
the
get your own
data,
place.
by the way,
Like
and,
hey,
yeah.
da 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 da. Like this is the whole thing, and she goes against women who have been dated him, been scored by him, and everything like that. It goes against us. Like, you know what?
I know.
I don't think
That was
it's.
a heavy
You know what?
sigh.
It comes
Because
down.
she makes women look fucking
Haven't
stupid.
we all been in that situation though, where you just like love that guy so much that
Yes.
you're just like, but you know she's gonna hit that point. I'm waiting. I just want her to hit it. I want her to hit
But
it.
honestly, this is not an defense of Jax, but that's what it's like. We cannot blame the dudes anymore.
No,
This
no,
is where like women
exactly.
need to like wake up.
No, absolutely. That's my whole point is that I think that she
Take cues anywhere that you can find them. Take the cues.
absolutely.
Please.
That's just what I'm saying is I don't know why anyone would ever like if you wanted like a traditional lifestyle.
You want marriage. You
why
want
would
kids,
you
that's all
ever
you've
date
ever
him?
wanted?
Why
be
the
with Jax?
fuck?
Right.
Well, okay, so like as a normal person dating people who are not on reality shows, you fucking Google them or you look at their social media. There's like you don't need to watch the show to know that that's his deal.
His MO, yeah.
But I also relate because I also like always date like guys like that. But I think that like you just have to like reach that point where you're like I can't do it anymore. I'm just waiting for
what
her
is
to
that
reach that
point,
point. I don't
though?
know.
I feel like
you
that. I'm afraid that point's going to be whenever he leaves her.
Because what happens is the more that they start to lose respect for you, secretly they want you to be like, fuck you, I'm done.
Yeah, he's bullying her
He's
into breaking
waiting
up with
for
him
her
because he's
yeah.
too big of a pussy.
And the more that
because
you
then
stay,
if Brittany breaks up with him, he gets to use this as an excuse. Well, she
It's
broke
so
up with
bad.
me. When he tells the next girl, he doesn't want to be with her. That's my opinion. Watching this fucking episode, you cheat on her, you don't want to be with her, especially if you cheat and lie. And don't try to make up for it and
with
say,
someone that's very obviously it's
the
going to come
circle.
up.
Well, he's
Yeah,
been
yeah,
known to
yeah.
self-sabotage and fuck.
But
good
he's not
things
even
up.
saying like, look, I fucking did it and I'm sorry. And this is what's going on. Like he's just lying. It's the Jax pattern that we know of.
And also all of like just having watched Kentucky of like it just like no one like there's just you can see it. You can see him just like not wanting to he's not doubling down. Like he's not.
That's a good point. A lot. He said something in the Kentucky flashback that I've noted when I watched it that they flashed to during Vanderpump Rules, where he said something about like the way you treat me or something. He said he alluded to like that to Brittany. He was like, well, I don't. It's like the way you treat me or the way you talk to me or something along those lines. And I was like, wait,
she was being disrespectful. Like she should fall in line.
No, totally. And his whole thing of like I feel pressured into. It's just.
Well, if anything, he pressures himself into it because he wastes no time moving in with girlfriends.
That's what I'm saying. I know.
And accelerating the pace of and the progression of relationships. And all of a sudden, he finds him in a position where he's like,
and then he loves to play dumb.
Me to marry you?
Dumb.
Well, I don't know. When you ask someone to move in with you after
and
like
I'm sure
4
he said
seconds
to her
of knowing them,
times that he wants to marry her.
Of knowing them, yeah. I mean, like. Maybe that's what they would expect.
We even casually see him saying to the realtor, well, yeah, I mean, it's about time for me to have some kids. And then Brittany's like, wait, babe, did you just say that?
Oh, God.
Like, it's cringe. Yeah.
When he starts talking about her, like, stop keeping, like, Postmates. Well, now that Brittany's gotten off the couch. Is just like,
yeah, things are going a lot better with us now that she's finally getting off the couch and not keeping Postmates in business. Which is just
that is disgusting. Like I feel hurt. That's not even about me, and I cannot imagine someone that I love saying that about me. That is like,
it's disgusting
grotesque.
To me because
it's really horrible.
You know what?
It's really horrible.
This segment brought to you by Girls Can Be Broken, Girls Are Weak, the new relationship how-to handbook from Dr. Jax Taylor. Hot on the heels of Taylor's self-empowerment Bible, I Hate You More Than Life, Girls Can Be Broken, Girls Are Weak teaches you how to lower the expectations of your lovers and live the life of your dreams, couchy style. Girls Can Be Broken, Girls Are Weak. Available in paperback at all fine Chevron stations.
This episode brought to you by Coors Light. Coors Light, the official beer of Pump Rules podcast. Get your Schwartz on and drink the day away with Coors Light. There's been a lot of interesting opinions tonight, and I want to thank all three of you for joining me on this rather interesting first episode of Pump Rules podcast this season. Can't wait to see what happens next. Can't wait to find out if Jax for sure cheated or if we're just making a lot of assumptions. Any final thoughts on the episode or anything else?
I fucking love having Alana on this because...
Me too. She's amazing, right?
Yeah, dude. I love your perspective. Yes. It's great. It's like
and
insightful.
Of course, Craig, you as I mean.
Well, I just take that for granted.
Obviously, you as well, but it's like nice having this a fresh.
Exactly. That's why I was so excited to have her on the show.
I love that you take cues and you're insightful, but you're also smart and like aware and not just like completely like apt to just sort of like buy into everything, that you question a lot of things. So I like it.
Thank you. Well, the thing that I've always said about the show is like, maybe it's extreme, but we all have the Jax in our friend group. We all like all these things are actually really relatable, which is why the show is popular. So when I'm looking at these people, it's very related. It's like we all have that guy that like does that or is like fucked up to his girlfriend and you're like, God, break up with him but won't, right? Like
no, and I love that because some people when they say to me, they're like, oh my God, I love watching your show because it's like such an escape from my own reality. Like what? Like our lives are so fucked up. Like, no, you like it because you relate to it.
That's what. Yeah.
So thank you for being honest about that.
No, it's true.
And when we first talked about the show, that's the thing that pinged for me. I was like, wait a second, like you see the show basically how I do, where it's like this is a friend group. And these are real people. And by the way, every friend group has just as equal fuck stuff going on.
There's the bad guy. There's your character. That's what I always am, where I'm like calling everyone out.
I love being able to sit Alana and obviously Craig. I'm not like opting out. I just want to talk about Alana for a minute. No, but I love sitting here with you and like you're fucking like you're just brute, like your honesty, but you're so polite and so intelligent about things, but you're not like trying to be like tiptoeing around shit. You're like, look, this is what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
This is what I'm viewing. And like, I just want to know.
And hopefully you'll be on many more.
Hopefully.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I say where I think we're going to clash? Is I kind of always liked Lala. Like, I know that like, I don't give a fuck if she fucked a married guy. Like, I don't really care.
I don't give a fuck that she fucked a married guy.
And you never really did.
I never did.
I know. I gave a fuck
about the way she treated me and spoke about me in my relationship. She so openly called me a no sex having Teletubby and commented on my weight.
Sorry, that's
so you know what? So you know what? I'm not a pushover bitch. Like if you're gonna talk about me and my weight and my husband and my relationship, guess what?
We going dig deep,
bitch. Back.
Yeah, exactly.
I clap back at
You're
you.
gonna find the things. Yes,
But guess what? I'm not called a strong bitch. I'm called insecure because Lala is a very attractive body type face girl who's like 5 years younger than me. Guess what? 5 years ago, I looked like her too.
Wait, I also want to say that. This is another thing I'm gonna say is like how thin everyone. Like I was just like, I can't believe. Of course, you're beautiful on the show, but like this idea that you're overweight is like literally insane. Like as a normal I am just. You guys can see pictures of me on the internet. If Katie is overweight, I'm fucking obese. So let's just. I'm just saying it's like it's so fucking ridiculous that you would ever be fat shamed.
Clothes. So I'm like, okay, I get that Scheana is like shamefully college anorexic, but I'm like,
I guess
so.
What
I guess the rest of us.
I'm not gonna be ignorant to the fact that I'm like, no, I absolutely gain weight. It's okay. I did.
You're not fat.
I'm not fat. I'm not overweight. Did I gain
by the
weight?
way,
Do I not look like I
weight,
did when I was 25?
That's what
I want everyone that comments on me. I want them to send me pictures of when they were 25, which is what they're comparing me to, and when they're 30. I want to see that, and also
your body changes.
And also like
you just gain.
And
more
also,
weight
how
as you
about
get
the fact that like Kristen, you know, like I was.
We're women. Now.
I was a gym rat.
Yeah.
I was a gym rat forever. And you know what? I gave myself a fucking break. Unfortunately, I picked the wrong time. I picked the time when I was about 29 years old, and that just shit backlash. But you know what? Like, it took me a long time. I hated myself and my body, and that's a whole nother discussion that we can have later on.
It's like really disgusting the way that's been a narrative.
I also don't. The Lala thing was really,
and it's.
I also don't like the way that people insinuate women being gaining weight with being pregnant. Like pregnant women are fat. I think that is a gross comparison. Pregnant women are not fat. They're making a fucking
baby.
human. So don't ever insinuate the fact that someone is fat or gain weight for being pregnant. Don't ever fucking do that. That's why it's insulting.
Yeah.
Because pregnant women are not fat. They're not.
I mean, it's just, and also it's sort of like some people have been working on their summer bodies. I was like, do you know normal people don't like that entire idea is kind of ridiculous.
Right.
To, like,
how about this is guess what? At 29, this is what my summer body looked like.
I know,
always
it's
a summer body.
You know what? Guess what? Who knows?
Like I was kind of like
do you not have to? Sometimes you have to be in a bikini in like November.
Like, you know what?
Shit.
You know what I want to do? I want to make a calendar of my summer bodies starting from when I was at like 10 years old, and now and everyone talk about how like fat I got from the time I was 10 to 18, and everyone talk about how I wasn't working on my summer body.
There's another point too that I just thought of because the whole thing when people were taking Lala aside and sort of overlooking the fact that she was coming for Katie so hard.
Right.
They were saying, oh, like they're not feminist. Lala's a feminist. How feminist is it to body shame a woman over and over and over and then expect no blowback, and also B, to just sail through acting as a feminist?
Well, it was because I came after her about her Italy trip and accused her of things and whatnot. And I became a slut shamer. No,
well, but that's what I mean. But then people said that was so anti-feminist, and that somehow Lala was a paragon of feminism.
She was not a person of character that I was interested in like engaging with. She came in, and initially our first conversations were like pretty good. They were like, all right, you know, we were from Utah, we had some conversations, but she was so aggressive about how badass and a boss bitch and how she's a gangster bitch and all this shit. And I was just like, that is out of my wheelhouse. That I don't even know what to do with that.
The best part is like also we're from Utah.
Like no, I mean
the gangster culture of Utah. Like honestly, if it exists,
that's fine.
Please write in.
Like
you're not
culture.
From New York. There's like I don't know.
No, I grew up in Queens. Excuse.
I'm from Detroit. I'm not gangster.
It was very much like my life experiences up until this point have been very different than yours, and I don't know if we can meet in the middle or even get to a point where we can share those experiences where we can understand each other. Because I'm not calling myself like the fucking whatever of like the most mature person, but it was also a maturity thing that like I understood. Like she's a lot younger and she's going through like a very like a transitional period in her life that I recognized, and because I went through that as well, that of like that finding yourself period.
She's so wrong clearly in everything she did, but I feel like it's authentic when she realizes and admits how wrong she is, and when she talks about her problems, like it actually, like when she talks about her anxiety, it actually really didn't seem fake. And like maybe I'm wrong, but when she's like, no,
or
like
it was convenient.
Sure.
Well, especially in the mix at the time, it's hard. It would be very hard to parse out.
Sure, but like she clearly has problems. I think she knows she has problems. I think there's hope for her to it doesn't seem like a Scheana sitch where she's so shut down and doesn't.
I agree. After the reunion when she apologized to Katie, meant a lot to Katie apologized to her, and then that almost like cracked Lala.
Yeah.
Like her hard exterior,
like
just
girl,
like
that younger girl that doesn't, that's just like, you just need to show a little vulnerability, and then she like starts crying. It's like, oh yeah, I just wanted you to like me.
She and Katie made up, and that's I think I'll just speak for like myself and Stassi just having Katie's back, because we attacked Lala as well, but it was just because she was such a bitch to Katie. Like,
well, that's what it all comes down to. Prior to the season opener, where you said the thing about the married men, and they come in and say the shit about summer bodies. There was this Twitter campaign against Katie. It was a prolonged and incessant attack on you from Lala, which you did not tangle up in. You did not respond to her. So at the time, you're at that party at that place, and then finally you're like, oh, really? And that's why I always say Lala just wasn't up on like, hey, which one should I not really like go to town on? Maybe
why you? Like, do you have any ideas to like why?
You know what? A lot of people will disagree. A lot of people that really know me might agree with this, is that I have a very good read on people, and
this is very true.
And
so true.
I gave her.
She's never
I was really open to Lala at first. I had some questions, and I was like reserved, and a lot of times I will hang back. I could resort to be an observant person when a new person comes into my life, and in a way that is very sort of like kind of forced on me in some ways. That's as much as I'll say about that. But I was excited. I was like, oh my God, you're from Utah. And I tried talking, and she wasn't quite as open with me, and was kind of like a little like curt with me. And so I was just like, okay, this is strange. And we went out to drinks one night. We were talking about her, and she just started working at SIR, and she was talking about how she got this modeling job in Italy. And I was just like, and she's like, I don't know what to do because I just started working there, and I'm supposed to like be on the schedule, and I just found out about this. So I was like, and I was so supportive. I was like, listen, I'm like, the thing about SIR, what's so great is that they want to see us do good things. I'm like, so if you're just honest with them, I'm sure they'll understand it. And I told her my story of how I got into this horrific accident after my training, and I was supposed to start, and I couldn't come to work. I'm like, and they held my job for me. And that was like an extenuating circumstance, but I'm sure they'd understand, like, if you got this opportunity that you go to Italy, like, you just be honest with them. They want to see us do our best. They all know that we're like, trying to be actors or models or something else. And she's like, oh, thank you so much for talking to me and everything like that. And I was like, just talk to them. Be open and honest with them. And then I found out later that she lied about that, and I was so earnest open with her, and so I fucking got a chip on my shoulder. 150% was just like, oh, you lied to my face, and we had an open, honest conversation, and I was being open and honest with you about myself, and you were lying to me. Like, no, fuck you, like, you already like kind of like, I was unsure about you, and then we sat down, and then I was like, okay, maybe. And then, the next thing we're going to Hawaii. And I didn't trust her. Like, people that are unreliable and dishonest, I don't, forgive me for saying it, that I don't trust them. Like, I don't think I'm the first person on the planet that would say that, but
it's a very bold attitude, though.
Right?
With all that, it'll be very interesting to see how the relationship between Lala and everyone else develops.
Yep.
So I have high hopes, though. And so any last thoughts, any last statements before we sign off from anyone?
Buckle up.
I'm very excited for the new season of Pump Rules podcast.
Buckle up. It's only just begun, and this is nothing.
We've only just begun, so stay tuned. Find us on Instagram and Twitter at Pump Rules Pod, or go to pumprolespodcast.com for more information. Email pumprolespodcast@gmail.com and follow on Facebook at facebook.com/pumprolespodcast.
Thanks for listening, and see you next time.